Thomas sat in a vendor demo, and the buzzwords flew past him. AI, machine learning, generative AI, agents. The salesman used all four as if they meant the same thing. They do not. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what each one means and never get bluffed by a vendor again. Here is the secret that makes it all click. These are not four rival things. They are nested, like four boxes, one inside the other. Let us open them up one at a time. Start with the biggest box, artificial intelligence, AI. AI is the broad umbrella term. It just means any computer system doing something that would normally need human intelligence. That is it. It is deliberately vague, and it is older than you think. A simple set of if this, then that rules counts as AI. If the stock level drops below 10, then reorder. No learning, no magic, just rules a human wrote. That's the oldest kind of AI, and a lot of your existing systems already run on it. So when a vendor says, our tool uses AI, they have told you almost nothing. A spam filter is AI. A chess program is AI. A simple reorder rule is AI. It is the right question to ask next that matters. What kind? Open the next box inside, machine learning, ML. This is the breakthrough that started the modern wave. Instead of a human writing every rule by hand, you show the computer thousands of examples, and it learns the patterns by itself. Think about spend classification. The old way, a human writes a rule for every supplier. The machine learning way, you show it 10,000 invoices that are already correctly categorized, and it learns to categorize the next one on its own. That is the leap. From rules we write to patterns it learns from data. Most of what people called AI for the last decade, the recommendations, the forecasts, the fraud detection, is really machine learning under the hood. And it is genuinely powerful for procurement, predicting which supplier is likely to deliver late, spotting the duplicate invoice that doesn't look like a duplicate, forecasting a price 6 months out, all machine learning. But notice what it gives you: a score, a category, a number. It sorts and predicts. It does not write, and it does not explain itself in plain words. Hold that thought, because the next box is exactly where that changes. Now open the box that changed everything: generative AI. Generative AI is a specific, newer type of machine learning. The difference is right there in the name. It doesn't just classify or predict, it generates brand new content: text, images, code. This is the box that ChatGPT and Claude live in. They are powered by large language models, a kind of generative AI trained on a vast amount of text. Here is the key distinction for your work. Older machine learning gives you a number or a label. Generative AI gives you language. It writes the contract summary. It drafts the email. It explains the risk in plain English. That is why it suddenly feels so different and so useful for a job built on words. So far, every box has been about producing an output. You ask, it answers. You give it data, it gives you a result. You are always the one driving. Which brings us to the smallest, newest box: AI agents. An agent is generative AI given two new things: tools, so it can actually do things in the real world, and a goal, so it can work towards an outcome on its own, in a loop, without you prompting every step. A generative AI can write you an email. An agent can write the email, send it, wait for the reply, and chase it if no one responds. One produces content, the other takes action. Think of it as the difference between an advisor and an assistant. Generative AI advises. It hands you the draft, the summary, the analysis, and you do something with it. An agent assists. You hand it the objective and it goes and gets it done, checking in when it needs you. That is why agents are the frontier right now, and also why they need the most careful supervision. So that's the full map from the outside in. AI is the umbrella. Machine learning is AI that learns from data. Generative AI is machine learning that creates content. And an agent is generative AI that can act on a goal. Let me make the nesting unmistakable, because this is the part that sticks. Every agent uses generative AI. All generative AI is machine learning, and all machine learning is AI. But it does not run the other way. A simple rules-based AI is not machine learning. A spend forecast model is machine learning, but it is not generative. They are boxes inside boxes. Now, why does any of this actually matter to a busy procurement professional? 3 very practical reasons. 1. You can finally cut through vendor hype. When someone sells you an AI-powered tool, you now ask the real question. Is it just rules? Is it machine learning? Is it actually generative? Each answer means a completely different capability and a completely different price tag. 2. You match the tool to the job. Need to forecast next quarter's demand from years of history? That's a machine learning job. Need to summarize a mess in contract or draft an RFP? That's a generative AI job. Need a process to run itself overnight? That's an agent. Using the wrong one is like bringing a calculator to write a letter. 3. You understand the risk profile of each. A rules engine is predictable and boring, in a good way. Machine learning can be quietly biased by its training data, learning a pattern you never intended. Generative AI can hallucinate and invent things that sound completely convincing. And an agent, because it takes real actions, needs the firmest oversight of all. The more capable the box, the more careful you have to be, and the more your judgment is worth. And there is a 4th reason, maybe the most important. You stop being afraid of the words. Most of the anxiety around AI comes from not knowing what people mean. Once you can place any tool, any headline, any vendor claim into one of these 4 boxes, the fog clears. You are no longer reacting to magic. You are evaluating technology, calmly, the way you evaluate any supplier. So picture Thomas back in that vendor meeting, 6 months later. The salesman says, "Our platform is powered by cutting-edge AI." And Thomas calmly asks, "Is that generative or just a machine learning classifier? And is there any agentic automation? And if so, what can it action without a human?" The room goes quiet, because Thomas just asked the 3 questions the salesman was hoping to avoid. That is the power of actually understanding the words. So let's lock it in. 4 nested boxes. AI, the umbrella. Machine learning, which learns from data. Generative AI, which creates content. And agents which act on a goal. You do not need to build any of these. You need to know which is which. So you choose the right tool, judge the real risk, and never get bluffed again. That clarity by itself already puts you ahead of most of the room. If you want the prompts and the playbooks to put these to work, they are free and linked below. And our full course shows you exactly which tool to reach for, use case by use case. Thomas walked out of that second meeting in control. Now go and do the same. I will see you in the next one.